Now picture this. You're in the middle of a conversation with your boss, your friends, or maybe even a complete stranger. They say something off, maybe a little arrogant, or they disrespect you. You want to push back, but instead, you freeze. Your heart races, your mind scrambles for the right words, and then either silence or something you immediately wish you could take back. We've all been there, walking away from a conversation, mentally replaying it like a bad movie, thinking, I should have said this, or why didn't I stand up for myself? Well, let's fix that. In today's video, we're diving deep into what it takes to become a confident, assertive communicator. So next time you're in one of those moments, you'll be calm, clear, and totally in control. Why communication matters. Let's face it, life throws tough conversations at us all the time. Whether it's asking for a raise at work, setting boundaries with a friend, or negotiating that price at a car dealership. The way we communicate shapes our relationships, our careers, and ultimately, our self-respect. But what happens when communication goes wrong? It gets messy. Misunderstandings escalate into full-blown arguments. Over-explaining makes us sound unsure. Being passive leaves our needs unmet. Being aggressive pushes people away. It's a very fine balance. But when you strike it, when you communicate just right, it's powerful. It's the difference between getting what you want and walking away with regret. It's what fills the gap between earning respect and breeding resentment. So how can we bridge that gap? Well, it all starts with one word: assertiveness. Being assertive. If you take one thing away from this video, let it be this: be assertive. Studies show that people who practice assertive communication experience lower stress levels, stronger relationships, and greater career success. In fact, one study found that employees who spoke up with confidence were more likely to be promoted, not because they were smarter or harder working, but because they were perceived as more capable. The way we say something, our delivery, often changes the meaning of the words we're saying. Assertion has the power to completely change how we're perceived by others. But what is it? Being assertive is having the ability to speak with a calm, confident authority. You can look anyone in the eye and express what you believe because you believe in what you're saying. It's less about what you say and more about how you say it. Being assertive shows your conversation partner that you know what you're talking about. Your body language, your tone, your facial expressions, they all tell the story before your words do. And that brings us to one of the biggest myths: the art of being assertive, not aggressive. Now let's clear up a common misconception. A lot of people confuse assertiveness with aggression. They think standing your ground means being rude, confrontational, or even hostile. And that is simply not true. And here's why. Assertiveness is about clarity. Aggression is about control. Assertive people express their thoughts, needs, and boundaries clearly and respectfully. They don't bulldoze others. They don't just let themselves get bulldozed either. Aggressive people, on the other hand, they interrupt, they shout, they dominate. Assertive people stay calm, make eye contact, and speak with conviction, even when challenged. So how do you become one of them? Let's break it down. How to be a direct communicator. Number 1, the pause and breath technique. One of the simplest but most powerful techniques of assertiveness is pausing before you speak. Instead of rushing to fill the silence, take a break. This gives you time to think, reduces nerves, and prevents you from saying things you might regret. Number 2, saying fewer words. Many of us over-explain when we feel nervous or insecure, but confident people don't feel the need to justify themselves endlessly. When making a point, keep it simple and to the point. Say, I disagree, that doesn't work for me, or even, I need more time to think about this. Stay clear and direct. Number 3, speak with confidence, even if you don't feel it. Your body language plays a huge role in how your words are received. Stand or sit tall, make sure your posture is good, maintain eye contact, and use open gestures. Now, even if you don't feel confident at first, acting confident will have a knock-on effect and make you feel more confident as a result. It's a positive feedback loop. You may have realized by now that being assertive in conversation takes confidence, but having confidence can be easier said than done. So here's the kicker. You don't need confidence before you start being assertive. You build confidence by being assertive. Think of it like muscle memory. The more you practice, the more natural it becomes. The first time you speak up, your voice might shake. The 10th time, you'll barely think about it. It really is a case of practice making perfect. So get stuck in. Now let's talk about how to prepare for those tougher conversations. If you know a tough talk is coming, don't wing it. Here's how to prepare like a pro. Know your main point. What's the core of what you want to say? Summarize it in one clear sentence. Anticipate pushback. Think ahead. How might they respond? And how will you handle that? Practice out loud. Yep, really. Say it in the mirror, record yourself, whatever works. The more familiar it feels, the smoother it goes. And guess what? Even some of history's greatest communicators had their own communication techniques. Learning from the masters of communication. Abraham Lincoln, master of words, expert of conflict resolution. His secret weapon? The hot letter. He would write out or journal his emotions before responding. Now, obviously, you can't do this mid-conversation, but if you know what to expect going into a scenario with someone, this can be a game changer. When Abraham Lincoln was angry, he would write this hot letter. This was essentially a letter expressing everything he wanted to say, channeling every emotion he had, angry or sad, and then he'd never send it. This would help him release his emotions without acting impulsively. Write out your raw thoughts first, then refine them. It'll help you be clear, calm, and constructive. When it comes to communication, having different tools up your sleeve will help you combat difficult communication in a range of scenarios. The Communication Toolkit. Here are 3 go-to communication tools to keep in your back pocket for those tricky conversations. Number 1, learning how to say no. No is a complete sentence, but if it feels too abrupt, try, "That's not something I can do. I can't commit to that right now." You're still clear, still respectful. Ask clarifying questions. Instead of jumping to conclusions or assuming someone's intentions, ask, "What do you mean by that?" It diffuses tension and opens up a dialogue. Number 3, use the broken record technique. If someone keeps pushing, calmly repeat your point. Say something like, "I understand, but my point still stands." It shows you can be firm without getting flustered. Now, these tools aren't magic, but they work. And the more you use them, the more natural they become. Being a confident and assertive communicator isn't about being the perfect communicator. There will be times when you feel out of your depth, or maybe you feel like you've said the wrong thing. It's important to remember that there's no perfect response, and often our relationships with people are nuanced and complex. Like most things, practice makes perfect. Start small in speaking up in low-stakes situations. Hold eye contact longer. Say no without over-explaining yourself. And remember, confidence isn't something you wait around for. It's something you build, one conversation at a time. After all, the situations where we grow from the most are often the most uncomfortable. So next time you find yourself in a tough conversation, take a breath, stand tall, and own it. You've got this. See you on the next one.